So I have today a very interesting guest. I've never met him before today, and so I'm looking forward to an interesting conversation. I have with me Dylan Burns, and he is a political consultant, Twitch streamer, and YouTuber. Dylan, thanks for coming in.
Happy to be here, Jesse.
I really appreciate it. Is this your first time in California?
No, this is, I've been here a few times for like family get-togethers and such, and I was also here a few months back to visit friends and family.
Oh, okay. And so, since I don't know anything about you, I know a little about you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing. But you are a millennial.
Zoomer, actually.
You're a Zoomer?
Yeah, I'm 20.
That's below, wow.
Yeah.
You are a Zoomer. What is that like being a Zoomer? What does the world look like to you?
Well, I would say the world looks like to me, a lot of it's more technically oriented. Technology, I use technology probably more than other generations. I probably get the youth's humor a little bit more. I understand a lot of the weird kind of edgy comedy of a lot of young people. And I guess that makes me a little bit more angsty than other generations.
That's amazing. How do you see the millennials? How do you see them?
How do I see them?
What's your image of the millennials?
I would say to me, they're already pretty old, but I guess already boomers in my view. I think they're spiritually boomers, but I think when it comes to, I don't know really how I see them, I guess, unfunny mostly.
The millennials?
Yeah, they're unfunny.
And they seem old to you?
Yeah.
How old is a millennial?
It's a broad range. I mean, they're 30s, 40s, right? They're in their range now.
30s, 40s,
They're
and
getting
that
up there.
seems old to you?
Yeah, I'm 20, right? I'm fresh out of high school. I'm still in college. I'm 20 years old. I can't even legally drink yet. So, yeah, anybody over 30 is old to me, yeah.
Oh, so you can't drink at 20 legally?
Nope, I can't.
I thought it was 18 or so.
Nope, they used to be that way during the Vietnam War because people would go over there and get shot at, but they couldn't drink, which I think silly, but I can't legally drink, no, and I choose not to drink.
And so are the millennials dumb or smart?
Are they dumb or smart? I would say pretty dumb.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
I never talked to a Zoomer, I don't think.
Yeah, I see what they watch, I see what type of comedy they like, the type of entertainment they like, so, they must be dumb, yeah.
That's amazing. So you think, do you think the Zoomers are smarter than the millennials?
Oh, most certainly.
Really?
Most certainly.
In what way?
I would say they're more technologically oriented. I would say they're funnier. I would say they're able to adjust to this new age we have better. And I don't know. I guess I'm just mostly angry at millennials for being so unfunny.
So unfunny?
Yeah, like Destiny and Vosh, for example. They're extremely unfunny, yeah.
They're unfunny?
Yeah, they're unfunny.
But they're not comedians.
Yeah, they're not comedians. Well, they try to be comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are they unfunny?
I mean, you got like Destiny. He thinks Yi and like Pepe and all that stuff's funny with his Olympics, but I'm a big Pepe supporter myself. And Vosh, of course, with his Coconut Island stuff, is also incredibly unfunny.
Whatever.
Maybe it's because they're just left-leaning. Who knows?
Left-leaning.
Maybe.
What's important to you?
What's important to me?
Yeah.
Community and foreign policy. Those are my two most important things for me when it comes to...
At 20, why is foreign policy so important to you?
When I was in high school, I started studying the conflict in Syria. I would use live map technology. I went to a high school where you could be online and on computers all day. They gave us, it was partially online, partially in person. And so when I would finish with my classes, I would study the Syrian conflict day by looking at the map changes and the conflict. And I was deeply interested in the struggle of particularly the SDF, the YPG, the YPJ in northeastern Syria, and the Kurdish population that were fighting ISIS. And I followed those battles day by day, and I got not only educationally interested, but deeply, somewhat emotionally tied to it. And I learned how, slowly through time, how issues halfway across the world can affect us at home. A good example of this for the world would be the American financial crisis caused a financial recession globally. We're more interconnected than ever before, and so I think we need the new generation to be aware of what's going on overseas.
You say you participate with the LGBT and all that stuff?
Yes.
I read, and I almost don't want to ask you this, but I think I read that you call yourself a queer.
Yeah.
You call yourself a queer?
Yeah.
What's a queer?
Just somebody who falls under the LGBTQ plus label generally. I don't like to use words like gay or bi or any of that because I've tried to use those labels and I don't really like them because they've been extremely constricting, and so I've thought like, hey, I'm 20, I'm just going to use this label because I do know that I have an attraction to men, and but I also seem to have an attraction to women, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly where I lie, so it's an easy catch-all term.
And so a queer is having the attraction to both male and female?
Well, it can mean any number of things. I'm telling you who I'm attracted to, but queer could be basically anyone who falls under an LGBTQ+
What
label.
would you rather that the world know about you? That you are a Christian or you're queer?
I guess Christian.
So why would you put it out there that you are queer instead of just being a Christian?
Well, I'm not keeping private either of the information.
Well, what's the purpose of putting out there that you're queer? What's the purpose of saying that to the public?
Well, because I like to have my dating options open.
What? So you will put your business out in the street because you want to have your dating options open?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I see a guy, if I wanted to date them, or if the guy was also gay or bi or something, they would need to know that I'm queer before they would approach me and want to date me. If they think I'm straight, then they wouldn't know that.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
Like if somebody didn't know you were single and they thought you were in a couple or married, then they wouldn't know that you're available.
And that would be fine.
Yeah, well, not if you're trying to find somebody to live your life with.
But you should never try to find someone to live your life with. You should only seek what's right, and then all things will be added.
Well, I think cute boys are right, so.
What?
Well, I think that the cute boys are right, so.
So that is interesting. That is so interesting. But let me ask, is it right, I don't want to use the word right or wrong, which is best, to not be a queer or to be a queer?
What's best? I don't think there's any moral difference. I don't think there's a best or wrong. It's like asking me what's best, blue eyes or green eyes. It's like, well, I don't really think there's any moral difference whatsoever. Or what's
eyes
better.
are best.
Well, thank you. As somebody who has blue eyes, I
You
appreciate
have blue
it.
eyes?
Yeah, I do have blue eyes.
I have blue eyes too. Thank you. Blue eyes are best.
Thank you very much.
Blue eyes are more hated than green eyes.
Are they?
Yeah.
I've never received any hate for having blue eyes.
What do you think?
Well, I've gotten compliments for them, but I've never gotten hate for it.
Amazing. And so, what did I ask? What was the question I asked about?
It was about what's better to be.
Oh, to be a queer or not to be one?
Yeah, I don't think there's any difference.
Which is right?
What is right? I don't think there's anything right or wrong about either option.
Do you think God made queers?
Yes.
God made a queer.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Through His wisdom and power. I mean, He did. I mean, I'm here, so He did.
So how did He make is it a queer, how did He make that though? You know how He made the body and made the human being. How did He make a queer?
Are you asking me to explain God's wisdom to you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I cannot know. God's all powerful.
So how do you know God made you that way then?
How do I know He made me that way?
Yeah.
Because I am. It's like asking me how I know God made me with legs. I can see my legs.
Really? And so as long as you've been knowing yourself, you've been a queer?
There's been signs of it ever since I was young, even if I denied it. And I'd rather be honest with myself.
And that's why you think that God did it?
Yeah.
Amazing. God didn't do that.
Yes, He did.
No.
Yes, He did.
I may not know my flaws, but I do know God did not make queers.
Really?
Right. God doesn't make mistakes.
Well, it's not a mistake to be queer, though.
And being a queer is not who you are and what you do as a result of being turned away from your earthly father. So you're really out in the wilderness looking for peace. And so you're picking up these different spirits thinking that they're from God. But I totally understand it. But let me ask.
Well, then can I ask you a question, though?
Yes.
Well, if that's true, then why are boys so cute? Because if it's not right for me to feel these ways, then why are they so cute?
Because you have your mother's identity.
Really?
You have the mindset and emotions of a woman. You're not yourself.
How do you know that?
Because when you resent your mother, and in your case, she wasn't even around.
I don't resent my mother.
In your case, she wasn't even around to raise you, and then you resent your father, so you've been turned away from your father's identity, and you have your mother's identity, which is of the feminine nature. And so you think and feel like a female, and because no one has really explained to you that that's not who you are. You're raised, you've grown up thinking that that's who you are, but that's not who you are. That's what you do.
That's very interesting because it sounded like at first you were saying I resented my mother, and if I would have said yes, then it would have been, well, you resent your mother, so that's why you're queer. But when I said I didn't, then it's, well, you resent your father.
No, you
and
do
since you
resent your
resent your
mother, too.
father, that's why you're queer. So it sounds like no matter what path you would have taken, it would have been an explanation.
You do resent your mother because she wasn't there for you. So
No,
you
I
can't help
don't.
but
I don't
her.
resent my mother. I understand why she wasn't there.
And you resent your father, but it's because of the resentment. You're born through your mother, so you're born in sin, right? And that's what has brought this idea on about being a queer. But that's not who you are.
Well, I think it's mostly just because boys are cute. I don't think it's really that complicated.
And so that's amazing, man.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
And so which are you more proud of, being a queer or a Christian?
What am I more proud of? I've never really measured them against each other.
Which do you promote the most?
What do I promote the most?
Or being a Christian?
I don't really promote it. I don't really promote being queer. I don't know, like, it's not like, hey, join the club. Like, I have, like, membership forms.
Right.
If you want, I could give you one of my membership forms. I can recruit you into the queers.
Which one do you promote?
Well, I
being
guess
a
it would.
Christian or being a queer?
I would say being a Christian because anyone could be a Christian. Not anyone could be a queer.
What do you mean anyone could be a Christian?
Anyone could come to God, but not anyone could just find men attractive.
Amazing. Interesting, man.
Like, do you find men
I know.
attractive? Do you find men attractive?
No.
You don't find them cute at all?
No.
Not their cute little dimples or anything? None of that?
Even the one with the blue eyes.
Even with the muscles? Even the muscly men? Well, then it looks like you can't be a queer, can you?
Even the one with the muscles.
Even the one with the muscles.
But
See,
you have a
can't sell me
girlfriend,
on
right?
that. Yes, I do.
Are you able to talk about her for a minute?
I would rather not.
Did you have fun?
I did have fun.
Thank you, man. Thanks for joining the hot seat. I absolutely appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
And thank you. Tell the folks how to get all the stuff you're doing.
Wonderful. You can find me at Dylan Burns TV on YouTube. That's DYLANBURNS TV. On Twitter, you can find me at Dylan Burns 1776, the year of our nation's founding. That's DYLANBURNS 1776. You can also find me on Twitch. I stream every weekday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to midnight.